Yeah, why we do this?
Hello, everyone. My name is Nia Anderson, and welcome to our literature circle, pages 88 to 161.
One.
I was the illustrator for this section.
This
I'm Noah Holloway, and I'm the multi-perspective guy.
I'm Brooke Turpo and I'm the summarizer.
I'm Naomi Ray and I was the moderator.
I'm David Brown. I'm vocab.
First, I'm going to start off this circle with background information. The plot of the book is focused on the government corruption of Nigeria. When white people came to Nigeria, political, economic, and religious conflicts started. The clan rulers who were not receptive to the British were replaced. They replaced them with people who would cooperate. This corruption continued into the post-colonial era. In the post-colonial era, those in power would reward their allies and oppress those who would rebel. The colonial period lasted from 1850 to 1929. The Nationalist Party was gaining support. Nigeria gained independence from Britain in 1960. After this, civil war ensued. The military coups displaced those who were in power. The Igbo people created their own state, the Republic of Biafra, when they declared independence in 1937. In the 1970s and 1980s, politics was dependent on oil. The political system was dependent on profit. Another way the military coups led to instability and corruption. General Sani Abacha took power in 1993. In Purple Hibiscus, he was the head of state Big Oga. He died under weird circumstances. They found hundreds of millions of dollars in secret accounts. The military returned the country to democracy in 1999, but the elections were seen as unfree and unfair for the people. In Purple Hibiscus, Abe Coker's life and death are based on Deli Giwa and Ken Sarawiwa. Giwa was a murdered journalist. Sarawiwa was a poet and author who protested with the Ogoni people against the ruin of their ancestral home, which was caused by massive oil drilling. Now we will have the summary by the summarizer.
Okay. This part begins with Papa frequently distributing little notes of money to random people who are struggling or impoverished, and but he won't even bother giving him money to his own father. This is because his father is a pagan, which is what the father believes is a heathen belief, and Papa will even let his own children see him more than 15 minutes, for the fear that his children will adopt or assimilate to his beliefs. Auntie Ifioma is introduced and openly defies Papa's reliance and extremism and white Christian culture. She invites the kids to their home dwelling in Nutska, where Kambali and Jaja further bond with their cousins. They meet two of their cousins, and one of them, Amaka, doesn't really like Kambali because she thinks Kambali is stuck up and egotistical. Kambali confesses her many sins to the father of the church while facing abuse from her father from eating 10 minutes before Mass. The kids all visit Ifeoma's house, and she is told by her aunt that she can have her own feelings and opinions about things, which contradicts her father's beliefs. She also doesn't favor Kambali's father because of his abandonment of their father and extreme Christianism. Kambali and Jaja experience new things as they watch TV, eat in less sophisticated conditions, and pray while singing in Igbo. This is denounced by their father, and Kambali and Jaja don't sing, but Jaja starts to become more of an outspoken person and speaks his own opinion. They visit the university, and afterwards they hear that Aide Cooker is incarcerated again, so her father tells her to stay at Auntie Ifeoma's house a bit longer. Later, we learn that Grandpa is sick, and Ifeoma comes and retrieves him so he could stay over her house. They contact the doctor, and Grandpa starts to bond with Kambali and Jaja by telling different fables.
Moderator.
First we do the other view first.
Okay.
Questions?
No.
So questions.
Okay, who wants to go first?
The vocab.
Okay. Alright. So, I did vocabulary for purple hibiscus. 1. Intercede. Where is that, right? What are you doing that? Okay. Act between the parties with a view to reconcile differences. Flaccid, drooping without elasticity. Desecrate, violate the sacred character of a place or language. And one quote that I found which is on page 131, is taught Kambali. I think that's her name. That's how you say it, Kambali. Said when she made a U-turn and went back the way we had came, let my wind drift, imagining God laying out with the hills of Lusaka with his wide white hands, crescent moon shadows underneath his nails, just like Father Benedict. So I think Kambali finds God in the natural world. Well, it's her perspective. Finds God in the natural world. The hands she envisions creating the hills of Lusaka, and which are white, and she has been taught to accept white, imagining God like a white, like today's world. And Bali's experiences with Auntie Fuma's family have opened her eyes to different types of faith. Auntie Fuma herself successfully blends traditionalist ways with her Catholic faith.
All right. Now we're gonna take the multi-perspective person from Noah Holloway. Okay, so when the perspective that I chose for this time is a personal experience, and this was a personal experience back in my younger years. When Papa neglects his father, it makes him think of a personal experience about how religion blocked. It made me think of a personal experience. Think about how religion blocked someone I knew from a healthy relationship. The person also had different beliefs, and their superior thought the opposite, like Papa and his father. Um, they had the person in my experience had an awkward relationship with each other, and were close to despising each other. Unlike my real life story, I think that Papa's father's sickness will bring Papa closer. Will bring Papa closer to his father, because because it's a thing where if you think that the person is going to die or something like that, you would give more care to them, because you want to cherish their last moments. So that's my multiple perspective. My personal experience from multiple perspectives.
I don't think Papa will. I don't agree with you, because I don't think Papa will become closer with his father because of because he's sick. Because I think he's really invested in his Christian beliefs. He won't even help someone that's considered like a heathen. So I just think he abandoned his father long enough to not have feelings towards him anymore. So that's what I believe.
Oh, well, I disagree with you, Brooke. I kind of agree with Noah, because I think that even Auntie Ethioma, she was saying how, the father, he needs to, repair his relationship with him, with his father before, something bad happens.
I don't think
so. I think
he's going to listen to her.
I think he'll care, because I think that even though, right now he doesn't like his traditional Igbo, values, and he prefers, Christian values, I think he'll still, find a way to, at least care about him in some way.
Xavier, what's your
And he'll
opinion?
let the children probably see him, while he's sick at least.
I understand.
Nia, what do you think?
I agree with Noah and I want to get to my
Elaborate.
illustration.
Well, you could elaborate on what you said.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, let's go to
This is not a question I feel strongly about.
Okay, can you
Therefore,
go to the
I will
moderated
speak on a
questions now?
question that I feel comfortable
Can you
about.
go to
Thank
the
you.
moderator?
Thank you for elaborating.
Do your illustration.
Hello. This is my illustration. And this is I'm drawing when they were driving around the city with their aunts and all of her children, and they were viewing the city because their dad doesn't really let them get out much. So now that they're in a new environment, their aunt will let them explore the city. Let me zoom up one more time for you. This is them right there. Thank you.
I like to point out, I like that picture because it gives a detailed gives a detailed description of the situation of what's going on in the story. Thank you.
I think we're gonna move on to our moderator questions.
Okay, question number 1.
What page?
You can't take me back.
Well,
Oh, this happens at the beginning when okay. So the question is when Kambili first visits her aunt and her aunt's family. Her and her brother are shocked by like the water and the energy in the house. How does this compare to the energy of her household?
Well, I think the energy of her house is kind of dull since they have like schedules of reading. They aren't allowed to watch TV, and they weren't allowed to like open up in like conversation at the dinner table. So I think that it was kind of dull, and because they had like a routine, monotonous like way of doing things, and they weren't outgoing and do. I would consider Auntie Ifeoma's lifestyle normal in that time period, but they didn't do like middle class things, I guess. They were like, they're high upper class.
Auntie Ifeoma?
No,
Oh,
Kamba.
yeah, they were, I guess, on the.
So I think that her listening to Christian music and not having much room in her life to explore and like go out and like just like go to different places really hindered her in their environment at home.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Kambili and Jaja, they came from a very structured household. They're very conservative, and you can tell that when they were praying at Auntie Ifeoma's house, and then Amaka, Auntie Ifeoma's daughter, burst out singing, and
Yeah,
at
that really shocked her.
Kambili's house, they didn't do that at all. That was considered like a big like not to do. So,
Because
and
the
it,
priest, Amadi, Father Amadi, Father Amadi, he was like introduced, and he was the one that was singing at church.
right, and she wasn't used to that. Her Jaja. So I thought those are contrasting, and I wonder how she's gonna like react to it later. Like, is it gonna change her personality? I guess like when she goes back, will it be hard for her to like
I
go
agree.
back to the structure?
I agree with Naomi. I agree with Naomi in what she said because since the Auntie Ifeoma and her family have a very different lifestyle. Visiting a parent's, visiting a cousin or an aunt's house like that, and you have like a different way of doing things is very unfamiliar, and you're always going to be very surprised. And you can apply this to real life because when you go to your cousin's house, they usually they don't do the same thing as you. So this since Kambili hasn't been over there in a while, this maybe can cause for some bonding between Auntie Ifeuma and Kambili. Nia Anderson, you have something to say?
No.
Okay, next question. Oh, did you want to think about it? Okay, next question. In what way does Kambili's family like relationship resemble the political situation in Nigeria of how the government's corrupt and things are like dysfunctional? How are these two similar and different?
Those what?
Kambili's family structure of how it's kind of like
I feel like her,
falling apart.
I feel like her family is corrupt, just like the government, and it's like like one is a bigger issue, and then one is an issue at home. That's just like the same thing that's going on with the government, just a smaller scale.
I feel like I think Kimbali's father is the person that has the majority role in like the family, so it kind of reflects what the government is like. There's a corrupt leader, so I think the corrupt leader is in the father. He's the one influencing everybody and making all these wrong decisions with the followers, or in fact his children and his wife, by like abusing. He ruined his own. He ruined Jaja's finger one day because he didn't get first in class. Remember? He ruined like Jaja's finger when he didn't get first in class. And
I guess that happened.
and he just abuses people, and he tells them that being quiet is good when sometimes you need. I believe that you need to speak your own mind.
I think that I don't agree with Naomi. I think that the father isn't corrupt. I think I think that the father isn't corrupt, and I think he's like the father is like a good figure, and he's like the restrictions in the family, the rules and regulations of the family. I don't think he's corrupt in any way, shape, or form. But I do think the rest of his family are trying to get away from him and deviate from him, and don't like the way he's doing things. And I think that resembles the rebellious Nigeria during their time before pre-1960, and yeah, and the father is like the Christians that came to Europe and that came from Europe and stuff because of his ultimatum Christianism.
Why do you think that he's not corrupt? Or why do you think he's like not similar to the corrupt government? Because the government's kind of like oppressing the people, and the father's kind of
he's oppressing the people and he's forcing them to do stuff. But I don't think any of the stuff he says is like. Some of the stuff he says is biased, but I don't think it's like it's all out of good intentions. He wants the best for his family. Like he doesn't just like do stuff randomly just because he wants to, or he's not trying to steal things or anything like that. I don't think they have the similarity between the government and him.
Well, I think his actions are corrupt because I don't think he does the best for his family. I don't think abuse of your wife and like your children is not the best for your family, especially when
It is.
you abuse and kill your wife's baby and then cry afterwards and make it seem like it's not your fault. I don't. And
Wait, what? Just kidding.
so
Well, that's from your perspective. You're right.
Say something.
You're right. Well, but God, well, really, I think it can go both ways. From Noah and Brooke, because Brooke was saying that it's not necessary for him to be as violent as he is and as strict as he is with his kids and his family. And for Noah, what you say? You said you disagree with her, right?
Yeah.
And you said, well, he's saying it is. So from his perspective, I can see that kind of, but at the same time, it is kind of disrespectful and unnecessary for him to do all that. There's better ways for him to solve his problems with his family. That's my opinion.
Okay. Next question.
I'm done.
Okay. Turn it into a PDF.
You got to submit it to me.
Can we see how much time is
5 more minutes. I have like 3 more questions.
No, 7 more minutes.
okay,
7.
We started at 2:02.
gotcha.
Well, my next question was, how does Amaka, the daughter's cultness affect Kambili? Because whenever Kambili even says something, or Amaka will have a snarky response to it. How do you guys?
Can you repeat the question?
How does Amaka's cultness and I guess her snarky remarks kind of affect Kambili and her character?
I found page 92.
May I use my book so I can see that?
Yes. So Amaka goes and she asks if Billy has a stereo. Remember that part?
Oh,
Yeah, and
I
then
read
she was
that.
And she was like, well, she didn't answer her, and so she as usual, came up with like a smart
I thought she
remark.
didn't.
She didn't answer.
Namaka asked, her placid eyes darting from Jaja to
You say
me.
read it.
Yes, it's a stereo, Jaja said.
Okay, Kambili.
There is nothing.
No, Kambili.
It's Matt.
Okay, well, this happens in the book. Kambili didn't answer. And so she was like, oh, I guess you don't have like our type of stereos or something, right? Well, anyway, she comes up with smart remarks to like when she doesn't either respond or because she has this preconceived notion that Kambili is a spoiled brat and that she has everything she wants and that Kambili actually looks down on her for being poorer than her. And so I think that affects Kambili's self-confidence and it puts her more into a hole of seclusion from the family, and that's my opinion.
I was trying to find the page. I think that because I remember when Amaka's friends came over and then Kamili didn't
She didn't talk to them.
Yeah. I think that like while Kamili is like staying with Ethioma's family, her character will change and she'll start to like not be so. I think that well sometimes she's gonna have to like she's not gonna be as influenced by her father and she'll be like influenced by her.
Because the longer she stays there,
Yeah.
she's okay.
My other question was, at the beginning of the second part, the papa took them to the church and they have to do a confession. Then she confessed like her sins of like going
Lying.
of spending well she lied about Papa Nuku. But then at the end of the part she went to Papa Nuku's house and then she was listening to all those traditions and stuff that were like pagan, I guess that's the word. Do you think she's gonna have to continue lying about participating in those like wrong acts, or do you think that she'll finally stand up to her father?
I think that she'll never stand up to her father because it's been so long that she didn't even know how to stand up to him. So I think it'll take some defining moment in the book where she has a different view on something than her father, because she's always been trained to think like her father from a young age.
Well, I agree with Noah because she has shown no signs of having like a backbone now, and she's still like defying like Auntie Ethiopian's like kindness and like her Auntie Ethiopian trying to like let her explore like outside of her comfort zone. She's still like, oh, it's fine. I can just do this. I don't have to watch TV. So.
Yeah, I see on 144 it says being defined can be a good thing for the body. Like defined is like marijuana. It's not a bad thing when used right. So that's when I was, but that's what I thought that like Auntie Fiona was gonna really influence her, and that when she comes back to spend time with her
I mean, like in
father,
the
she's
future,
gonna.
if she shows like more signs of like her developing attributes that Auntie Ethiopian
And I just think she'll. What were you saying? Well, I was just gonna say I just think she'll develop her own opinions on things instead of being indoctrinated. Okay. It's not over? Okay. Xavier, do you have anything to say about Do you agree that, like, I just read a quote, I said being defiant is sometimes a good thing. That's what Auntie Fiona said. She said defiance is like marijuana, it's not a bad thing when used right. So do you think Auntie Fiona is gonna, like, influence her to make her own opinions and stuff?
Defiance.
Speak up.
Alright, defiance, it's not always good to be defiant. Say like if you're defiant to your mother and stuff when she tells you to do something and you don't do it, it has a bad effect on how you look at it in people's eyes.
got 1 minute left.
Okay, the last question was kind of a connected question.
No, we got 8 seconds left.
It was how.
Well,
That's it for the win, buddies.
Next slide, folks.
Nia
Thank
said
you.
nothing.